Hi guys, welcome back. In the previous video, we just went over the some of the basic things in Maya. So the next thing is we already prepared our concept. So we have to import that image concept image into Maya, and after that we will be start working on the actual model. In order to do that, the first thing is we have to be able to navigate through each of the views like front view, side view, perspective, and top view. So the main shortcut is in the previous video I explained how to navigate through spacebar, pressing spacebar, and you'll be able to navigate to each of the views. So the main thing is every time we won't be able to do that. It'll be taking a lot of time. So in order to easily move around, what you can do is you can press and hold spacebar. Once you press and hold spacebar, you will be given a menu, and in the center of the menu there is a name called Maya, and if you click on that, you will be able to see different views like perspective, left view, right view, top view, front view, all that. So by pressing on the center view, and you will be able to select whichever one view you want to move on to. For example, now we are in a perspective view, and if I press space and hold, the menu will be appeared, and after that you can click on the Maya button, and you will be able to move on to maybe front view. And after you select a front view, at the bottom of the view panel you will be able to see which view you are actually being selected. After that, the same way you can navigate to any of the views, and finally you can go back to perspective view and all that. The main thing is, first thing is we'll move on to the front view, and once that is done, in the view panel itself, you can see a lot of small icons at the top, and in this icon you can see something called image plane. And once you hover over any of the icons, a message, small message will be highlighted, and it will be showing which tool you are actually being, which icon you are actually being hover over. So here we'll have that image plane option. If you click on the image plane, a pop-up window will be opened. Here you will be able to select any of the images from your system, and here we will just move on to our project file. Here we will select the concept. Here the concept actually is in PSD format, but it doesn't matter. It will just register as a symbol image, and even if you have multiple layers, the whichever layer is visible, the Maya will convert all that layer into a single, all that layers into a single layer, and the image will be opened. So once you select that concept, you can just press open, and that image will be visible on the screen. And if after that, if you go to the perspective view, you can see it's actually appeared in the center of the grid, and in the perspective you can see a small grid kind of thing. It's actually called grid itself. And after that, you can see, you can select the image, you can move around to any of the direction, up or down, front or back, side to side, and you can rotate any direction you want, and at the same time you can actually scale them also. For now we are actually not going to do any of that. Once that is done, we are just going to select the move tool. You can press W on the keyboard in order to select the move tool, and you can press E on the keyboard for rotate tool, and R on the keyboard for scale tool. So once you select move tool, you can just push it back. At the same time, you can go to the front view, and you can move it up and align it on top of that straight line. So finally what happens is, the image is actually above the grid now. So whatever model we will be creating based on the image, it will be above the grid. Once that is done, now we want to lock the image. So what you can do is, once you selected the image, at the right side you can see few other panels will be highlighted. Here you can see channel box, and modeling toolkit, and attribute editor. Sometimes that channel box will be open, sometimes it will be attribute editor. Right now attribute editor is selected, and you can see a lot of attributes related to that image. Currently we are not actually not going to do anything in that. We are actually going to the channel box. Once you selected channel box, here itself you can see a few more options, like you can see a translate window for image plane. The image is actually called image plane, and here as you can see, once I move that particular image, all that changes are actually registering in this channel box. And that means you can actually give a particular number, and that number will be, based on that number the object will be rotated, moved, scaled, or something like that. And at the same channel box you can see at the bottom there is a layer panel. So you can select the image and you can go to the layer panel. In that layer panel you can select the last option called create a new layer and assign selected object. Once you click on that, a new layer will be created and the selected object will be added to that particular layer. Once you done that, you can just enable and disable the image at any time you want. So once that is done, you can just the first option is visible option. At the last you can see a empty box, and if you click on that empty box, each time you click a different option will be, you can click on that particular option until that R letter is visible. Once that R letter is visible, that means it's actually in a reference mode. That means the layer is actually locked and you will not be able to move it or rotate it or anything. So even if you accidentally selected that layer, you will not be moving it since it's actually already locked. So once that is done, you can just enable and disable it at any time you want. So once that is done, just go to the file menu and save the scene. We will save the scene as diorama version 1. Okay, once that is done, our first part of our modeling process is over. So we actually imported that concept image into our scene file. In the next video we are actually going to start the modeling process. So I'll see you guys in the next video.